Hi guys. All right, so this lesson is going to be focused on reading, and this reading lesson is going to focus on poetry, which nicely ties into our genre dude of the month, which is Hink Pink, and he is the poetry dude. Okay, so we're going to take a look at poetry a little bit more closely. So let's go ahead and get started with today's objective. So what we're going to be doing is we will identify rhythm and rhyme in different poems. And how we're going to do that is locating details from the images and the words in the text. And why we're going to focus on explaining the theme or main message of the text. So we looked at a couple other videos on not only just the topic of a text, but the main idea of a text, which is what the author really wants you to take away from a piece of writing. Well, poetry can be looked at that in the same way, as that a poem normally has a theme around it, and that theme is sort of the main idea. It's the main message that the author wants to give you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look at poetry a little bit more closely in the next few lessons that I post. Okay, so let's take a look at just what poetry is. So poetry uses descriptive words to express feelings or ideas. It plays with the sound of words and rhythms of language, and often rhymes or has a beat. So not all poems have to rhyme, but a lot of them do. And it is often meant to be read aloud. And what I love about this statement, it's often meant to be read aloud. There's a really catchy sort of rhythm and beat to it, but you can also think about music and songs, okay? A lot of songs really are poems. So when you think about song artists that are trying to come up with lyrics, really what they're doing is they're writing poems, okay? So just keep that in mind. I think that's pretty cool. So here we're gonna look at this word rhyme. All right, so I'm going to pull this out here. A rhyming poem. Now, again, not all poems do rhyme, but we're going to look at a couple that do. A rhyming poem has words with the same sound at the end of some of the lines. So we're going to locate some of those sounds. It has regular repeating rhythm and tells a poet's thoughts or feelings. And this is what's sort of going to get us into our theme of, well, what is this poem about? What is the author trying to tell us? So we're going to look at a box of crayons again, and then we're going to look at a couple other poems in our book, okay? So before we even get there, we're going to look at these two poems, okay? So My Tooth Fell Out, and then we're going to look at the recycling song, because again, songs have lyrics, and those lyrics usually are in the form of a poem. All right, so I want you to think, what do you notice about these poems, and what are maybe the characteristics of a poem, which goes back to that definition. Okay, what do poems have? All right, so we're going to read it once through, and then I want you to see if you can hear the rhyming words, okay? And if you hear them, I want you to shout them out. All right, I'm going to highlight them as we go. Okay, so my tooth fell out. A tooth fell out and left a space so big my tongue could touch my face. And every time I smile, I show a space where something used to grow. I miss my tooth, as you can guess, but then I have to brush one less. All right, so what are the first two rhyming words? A tooth fell out and left a space so big my tongue could touch my face. So listen carefully to the ending, space, face. So they rhyme. All right, next one. I'm going to choose another color. And every time I smile, I show a space where something used to grow. So there you go. Listen to the ending again. Show, grow. Okay, we're going to do one more. Here we go. I miss my tooth, as you can guess, but then I have to brush one less. Okay, there you go. Guess less. All right, so we're going to pop over to our recycling song, and this one says that it's sung to row, row, row your boat. So we'll see if we can do this. Ready? Don't make fun of my singing voice here. Okay. Save, save, save your papers, throw them in the bin. We can help to save the earth if we all pitch in. Save, save, save your bottles, throw them in the bin. We can help to save the earth if we all pitch in. Save, save, save your cans, throw them in the bin. We can help to save the earth if we all pitch in. Save, save, save your plastics and throw them in the bin. We can help to save the earth if we all pitch in. All right, so what you'll notice is that the same rhyming words occur each, and we call them stanzas. Okay, so if you take a look, this is like a little mini paragraph right here. So that's one stanza, two stanzas, three stanzas, four stanzas. Okay, so if you look at all of them, you'll notice that it sort of repeats, okay? And notice that because it's a song, it kind of has a rhythm, okay? So that goes back to that characteristics of a poem. You sort of have to keep a beat going. So it says to save your papers, throw them in the bin. If we help to save the earth, or if we help to save the earth, if we all pitch in. So bin and in are going to repeat, and those are going to rhyme. Bin, in. You'll notice that in is in the word bin, okay? And so that's just a really, really simple way to show rhyming, but this one does a great job showing rhythm. Okay, you can almost like clap your hands or pat your legs as you're kind of counting the beat. Okay, so there's a few to start us off. So the characteristics we know come back to our definition. We know that it has rhythm and there are rhyming words. Okay, so let's go ahead to the box of crayons again, and we did this this morning. So a box of crayons is the sun on a dreary, rainy day. You can draw a hot air balloon and travel far, far away. So I'm going to stop right there. This time, the rhyming words are not every line, it's every couple lines. So, oh, not that one. A box of crayons is the sun on a dreary, rainy day. You can draw a hot air balloon and travel far, far away. Okay, so they're going to skip and alternate lines. You can draw a beach and play in the silky sand. You can draw a drum and play in a marching band. And then this one ends in a fun way. With crayons, you can always create something exciting, something great. If you think about that, what do you think this poem is talking about? What is the point of this one? A box of crayons is the sun? I didn't think a box of crayons was the sun. That doesn't make sense. A box of crayons isn't up in the sky. What does that mean? Think about that. What can you do with the box of crayons? Yeah, you can draw anything you want. You can draw your world. You can draw yourself up in a hot air balloon traveling away. You can draw yourself at the beach and pretend that you're there. You can create something of your own. Okay, and that kind of goes to this essential question, where can your imagination take you? Well, imagination has to do with creativity, and you can think up anything you want with a box of crayons. All right, so that's the first one. So let's go ahead and read this next one. So what story is this? None of us are us today. We're putting on a play. Knock, 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 someone's there. That's the wolf, my friend Claire. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Julie, a little pig, says with a grin. Joseph and Pat are pigs as well. They run to Claire's house and ring the bell. Do you remember this story's name? If so, you've won this guessing game. So what is happening? What are these kids doing? They're putting on a play. Okay, so they are also using their imagination. They're being creative. So let's go ahead and see if we can find the rhyming words in this one. None of us are us today. We're putting on a play. So today and play. Knock, 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 someone's there. That's the wolf, my friend Claire. Yep, and you'll notice this is where it gets tricky. There's that play on words a little bit. They're not spelled the same. Rhyming words do not have to be spelled the same. It's just about the sound. So sometimes too, you might even just close your eyes and listen carefully to see if you can hear the sound. So someone's there, my friend Claire. There, Claire. All right, let's go to the next one. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, Julie, a little pig, says with a grin. Chin and grin. Yep. All right. Joseph and Pat are pigs as well. They run to Claire's house and ring the bell. Good. Bell. Do you remember this story's name? If so, you've won this guessing game. So name and game. So here we are again. So this theme or message of this poem also has to do with imagination. All right, let's go for the next one. The ticket. Okay, so we have sort of, I'm going to pull this guy out here for a second before we read it, okay? Because we're going to make these connections right here. Where does each poet go on his or her imagination? Which poem reminds you of somewhere that you have been in your own imagination? So I think this whole idea of imagination has to do with our theme or the main message. So I want you to think when we read this last poem for this lesson, think about the theme or the message the author wants us to know. What does the author want us to learn or know? It's a broad or sort of big idea about life, and it usually is not stated. It's not going to say in here, the author thinks the theme of this poem is, no, it's not going to say it. You have to figure it out for yourself. So let's go ahead and read this last one, and I want you to think about the theme or the main message. Okay, and as we're doing it, we are going to highlight if there's any rhyming words. Let's see if there are, okay? All right, so the ticket. I have a special ticket that takes me anywhere. To oceans deep, the dazzling stars, a mighty lion's lair. Did you catch the rhyming words? I have a special ticket that takes me anywhere. To oceans deep, dazzling stars, a mighty lion's lair. So again, that's one of those tricky ones. It's not spelled the same, but the sound is the same. All right, we'll keep going. I've been to a volcano, which is like a boiling pot. I even rode a camel through the desert, burning hot and hot. I've shivered in the North Pole at 43 below and built myself a cozy igloo out of blocks of snow. I've met a great inventor and helped him to create a baseball-playing robot that slides into home plate. My journeys take just seconds. I simply close my eyes, and I'm a rocket sleek and silver speeding through the skies. Where's that? You'd like to join me? Here's all you have to do. Use your imagination and you'll soon go places too. All right, so in the last minute or so that I have of this lesson here, think about the themes. What I want you to do is you can even write this in your journal to answer some of these questions. So if you want to pause the video, go ahead and think about this. Where's the poet going in their imagination? In both this poem and in these poems, where is the author going in their imagination? I can see they're flying in an air balloon or going to the beach. They're putting on a play, right? Pretending they're a pig or a wolf. This guy has a ticket to go all kinds of places, the North Pole. So think about that. And then which poem reminds me of somewhere that you have been? Have you taken yourself to a place in your imagination? Have you created your own world? Maybe you've created a fort and pretended that that's a cave somewhere, or maybe you've been drawing and you've created a new world. Maybe you're at the beach, or maybe you're hiking on a mountain, or you're in the jungle seeing new creatures. So take some time to think about where your imagination can take you. Okay? And don't forget about that theme of some of the other poems that you'll be reading in the next couple of days. All right, well, have fun, enjoy reading, and I will be back with another lesson shortly. See you guys.